Hey, what's going on, guys? Bflattened here with a brand new video today. Today we're going to be talking about Diablo 4 and how to reset Nightmare Dungeons. So what you need at first is you need at least a party. So that means you have to have a party of 2, 3, or 4 in order to do this. The first thing that you need to do is you need to pick a dungeon that you want to do. The leader is going to activate said dungeon. In this case, Delta in our party activated the Blind Burrows dungeon. All of us enter the dungeon. Now that all 3 of us are in the dungeon, Delta's going to pass that leadership over to either myself or the other person in the party, and you have to do this a total of 4 times, as long as it ends up being that Delta does not have party leader at the end, or the original leader. So Delta is going to pass it over to me, and then that will be number 1. So there's number 1. Once you get this message, if you give it transferred to you, you can just hit decline. It doesn't matter. So now I am party leader and I hit decline. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to pass it back over to Delta, the original party leader. So now that is number 2. So now Delta is going to pass it back over to me. We just wait for that message. Yep. And we're going to decline it again. That's number 3. And then we're going to pass it back over to Delta one more time. And now that is 4. So Delta's going to pass it over to me one more time. We're just going to wait for that message. There we go. We're going to hit decline. And now that is a total of 5 times. We pass it back and forth between each other. A total of 5 times. Delta is no longer party leader. That is the important part, is that the leader that originally activated the dungeon is no longer party leader by the end. So what you do from here, you complete the dungeon as normal, you get all the way to the end, and you activate the glyph at the end. I will see you guys at the end of the dungeon, and I'll explain the rest of the method. Alright, and welcome back, everybody. So the spider is defeated, the boss is defeated. What you can do is you can go to the glyph stone now. You can level up whatever glyph you want to level up. The XP is in there. So now this comes the important part, the part where you have to reset. So the original party leader cannot have the party leader status in this case. The original party leader at the start was Delta, and Delta is no longer the party leader. So what ends up happening at this point is Delta ends up leaving the party inside the dungeon. So Delta's going to end up leaving here, and he leaves inside the dungeon. So Delta has left, and then Delta is going to load up back into their game as a solo party. As soon as Delta's loaded up, I will get word of that so I can rejoin them. It can be done by either invite, or it can be done just by joining them directly. You can see here I can join party now, but we're going to wait until he loads in. What's going to happen is he's going to load up outside the dungeon. That's the important part. He loads up outside the dungeon from when we first started running. Loaded. Now it's going to give you a message that you transfer the party leader's world. You hit accept. That's fine. And now you enter into the original dungeon loader's world again, just like normal. And now you can see we are both spawned outside the dungeon, and the Nightmare Dungeon is ready to be run again. That means it has successfully been reset from the scratch. What ends up happening is all the modifiers that you had previously, they will stay the same. So if you have modifiers that you really enjoy, the modifiers do stay the same. Another benefit to this is that you can level up your glyphs with no problem. Also, it involves target farming. If there's a certain enemy that drops a certain piece of gear that you're looking for, spiders drop gloves, this will be a great opportunity to farm for gloves. Although other enemies will drop other different things. The layout of the dungeon does change. Events do spawn or despawn in here. That is the only difference of the dungeons. However, everything else stays the same. If this has been a method that has been helpful to you, then let me know. I don't know the original finder of this method. I know it wasn't me, but full credit to them, obviously. And I will see you guys in the next one. My name is Bflattened, and I'm signing on out of here. Take care, all. Laters.